Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Amazing Baking Games. Now we started this video series last week where we looked at 5 video games, and we're going to look at the next 5 video games to expect in January 2020, Part 2. First up, we have To the Moon by Freebird Games. This game was originally released in 2011, and it's a deep game. This game explores human mortality, memories, love stories, and you as the protagonist, you basically are working together with an old man to relive his life one last time before he dies. This is a subject that's not really covered a whole lot in video games, but it's something that's really powerful, which is why it resounded so well with its fans back in 2011. Now they've released sequels since then, and I'm only going to assume that they're probably going to continue to release remastered versions of those sequels, but if you haven't had a chance to get your hand on this game, it's already on PC, Android, and iOS, but starting January 16th, you can pick up To the Moon on the Switch. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Alliance Alive HD Remastered by Cattle Call. This is yet again another remaster of a game that came out in 2017. It's a multiplayer party game. It's got combat-based skill progression, and the largest part of the game is you use vehicles to explore and to really get into this world that's been taken over by demonic overlords, and they control separate regions. This has been how the world has been for 1,000 years. They've enslaved your kind. They've really taken over and done everything that they can to repress you. So it's up to you to make sure that you get in there with your friends and you work on this combat and you take care of these demons and you take over region by region by region until eventually you can take over the world and take it back. If you're a fan of party games that involve your friends that you can really grit into and pour a lot of hours into with a fantastic story behind it, then I'm willing to bet that you would probably enjoy the Alliance Alive HD Remastered when it comes out January 16th for the PC. Coming in at third on the list, and probably the most popular game on this list, is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This comes to us from CyberConnect 2 and Bandai. It's a single player JRPG, ARPG, and really you just get to relive the story of Goku that so many people are so familiar with over the years, but you get to meet a couple of new characters and maybe some new twists along the way. And probably the biggest twist throughout all of this is the fact that this isn't just a solid, straightforward fighting game like Dragon Ball Z games have been in the past. This introduces a lot more of the RPG elements where you're required to fight and fish and eat and train and take care of yourself in order to build yourself up to be the Goku that everybody knows and loves. This will be more RPG than fighting, so make sure coming into it that you do realize that, because if you're a fan of the fighting games, the bright colors, the flashiness, the power-ups, and all this stuff, you will still have aspects of that, but make sure if you like the fighting games and you're a big fan of RPGs, then definitely check out Dragon Ball Z Kakarot when it hits the PS4, PC, and Xbox on January 17th. Making number 4 on this list is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore. This comes to us as kind of a little bit of a mesh-up between Fire Emblem and Atlas. They've really crossed paths, and you deal with a lot of the characters from Fire Emblem and the playstyles from Atlas, as you see a whole different animation style and a presentation that only Atlas can bring to you. If you're a fan of the Persona series, Catherine, the Fire Emblem series, all of these that come from these different makers, they work together. You're going to see a lot of pop culture references, a lot of references to other Atlas and Fire Emblem games. And yes, I know, this game came out in 2015 on the Wii U, but the FE Encore Edition introduces new characters, new aspects of gameplay, new stories that you didn't get to see back then. So this list is really heavy on remasters and remakes. Trust and believe that this is going to be a new game. So if you're a fan of either one of those franchises, if you're a fan of Atlas's approach to anime-style games, then make sure that you check out not just the music and the teamwork of this game, but definitely the combat whenever Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore comes to the Switch on January 17th. Rounding us out at number 5, we've got Hovership Havoc. It's brought to us by Snow Day, and it's a twin-stick shooter where you get to choose one of 4 hover ships. As you see on the screen, the graphics on this game are beautiful. They're kind of a throwback to a little bit more of a retro style shoot 'em up game, the games that you would originally see on the Xbox Marketplace arcade. This game is going to have potential for unlimited playthroughs because of the way that the levels are randomly generated. If you're going to come across different abilities and upgrades and really get to take that hovership of yours to new levels as you play with your friends and you play against AI and you explore an always randomly generating world. So if you're into those retro nostalgic type games, make sure you check this one out. I think this is going to be a sleeper hit. So make sure when Hovership Havoc comes out on January 17th for the Xbox One, you give it a look. Alright guys, so that's my list for today. But before I go, I want to remind you that if you've been having dark days lately, when you wake up in the morning, you can choose to make it a brighter day. Things don't always go well. Things don't always go the way that we want them to. Sometimes it's really dark and it's really hard. But I want you to remember, if you've made it through 100% of the hard days you've had in the past, you can make it through 100% of the ones that are coming to you. Look at the good in life. Look at the people around you that are there for you, that care about you and love you. So make sure you're doing good for yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And mental health is number one. So make sure that you're really providing yourself with all the care and all the needs that you have to make sure that you're taken care of. Guys, I would appreciate any likes, comments, shares, subscribes, anything like that. And until next time, I'm the Amazing Bacon. I'll talk to you guys later.